Hi, fight fans, and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Hope you're all doing well. Now, question for you. Should Carl Froch come out of retirement to fight Darren Till? Now, that has become a particular topic of debate, particularly following Darren Till's highlight reel knockout, has to be said, over former UFC fighter Luke Rockhold. And after the fight, Darren Till was calling out Carl Froch, attempting to climb out the ring. Well, he did climb out the ring, attempting to get to Carl Froch, who was in attendance, sat in the front row. Darren Till having to be restrained by security, shouting, fuming, gesticulating, foaming from the mouth. I mean, Carl Froch and Darren Till now have been going back and forth now for quite some time. The two of them have been trading insults on social media and engaging in a war of words, which has been quite amusing, to be honest. But it seems like the intensity level has now been stepped up a bit. I mean, Carl Froch, Carl the Cobra Froch, as you probably know, or boxing fans will know anyway, he's pretty much a British boxing legend, had a very successful professional, well, amateur and professional boxing career. I mean, he was an outstanding amateur, two-time ABA champion, boxer England, won a bronze medal at the World Amateur Championships in Belfast. I think that was back in 2001. Turned professional, as a professional, he won he had 35 fights, 33 wins, 24 by knockout. Only lost twice to the very best, Mikhail Kessler and Andre Ward. Both of those guys, pretty much boxing legends, especially Andre Ward. Froch, never been stopped, was known for his durability and his conditioning, and like I said, definitely will go down as a bit of a boxing legend, especially in this country. He was probably most well known for his two fights with fellow Brit George Groves, which Carl Froch won both by knockout. The second in front of 80,000 fans at Wembley, a record at the time, and a record that Carl Froch never stops telling us about. But to be fair, Carl Froch was a great fighter. I will openly say that. Very good to watch. Wasn't the most skilled, but definitely was a he was a great fighter. There's no question about it. Definitely one of the best the UK has produced in the modern era. I mean, he was a two-time super middleweight champion of the world. I believe he was inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame in 2023. So I guess what I'm saying is his resume is outstanding. As for Darren Till is from Liverpool, former mixed martial arts and UFC fighter. I think he had a record of 24 fights as an MMA fighter, 18 wins, 10 by knockout, 5 losses and 1 draw. He never actually won a title in UFC, and I think he was released from the UFC in 2023. He had injuries, he had personal problems, and he was released back in 2023. Since then, he's transitioned to Misfits boxing. He's now 3-0 in Misfits, and for some reason, he's been calling out Carl Froch for a long time now. Says he wants that fight. He acknowledges that Carl Froch has the superior skills, but Darren Till is saying that, listen, at his age, his advanced age, because Carl Froch, I believe now is 48 years old. Darren Till is still in his 30s. He says the time is right. He wants a fight. And he wants it. And Darren Till, to be fair to him, he won't back down. And he wants his fight badly. And after his win against Luke Rockhold, Darren Till is even more ebullient. And he's calling Carl Froch all kind of names. And he wants Carl Froch to accept the fight. But should Carl Froch accept the fight? I mean, some people would say there are a number of reasons why the fight does make sense. I mean, firstly, the money. I mean, it's a big financial incentive for the two of them to fight. I think a fight between the two of them would be a massive spectacle. I think it would generate a decent, well, actually a lot of money through pay-per-view sales. And Carl Froch has stated in the past that he would only ever come out of retirement for a huge offer. I think that a fight between the two of them would generate a lot of money. There's no doubt about it. There's the public interest and the rivalry. I mean, as I said before, these two have been going back and forth now for some time. I don't know the genesis of the beef. It's probably much on Darren. I think I've seen Carl Froch be quite denigrating towards the likes of Darren Till, Misfits Boxing, and Carl Froch has that character where he seems to like to engage and uh, troll people. And yeah, I don't know how the exact genesis of the beef is, but I do know that the beef is pretty much real. Certainly, it is on Darren Till's side. And so, yeah, so they've created a rivalry that would appear to have captured the attentions of fans from both boxing and the MMA communities. There's always that little rivalry between boxing and MMA, who's the better combat sport and who would win in a fight and stuff like that. So that kind of inbuilt storyline makes it marketable. And they're both good talkers, let's be honest. They're in their own way. I mean, Carl Froch is a different personality to Darren Till. Darren Till's very in your face, he's loud, he's verbose, he's aggressive. Carl Froch is more your sort of alpha male, trolls, sarcastic, he's narcissistic, he likes to get under people's skin, he's quite good with the one-liners. But I guess what I'm saying is they're both very good talkers in their own way, and they would both sell the fight. I've got no doubt in that. We've got to be honest, Darren Till's recent performance in the Misfits was a highlight reel knockout, and he does have some boxing skills, he does have power, he is brave, he's strong, and some would see him as a legitimate challenge to a long retired Carl Froch. The arguments against the fight, I guess straight away people are going to say Carl Froch's legacy and his age. I mean, Carl Froch is 48 years old now, significantly older than Darren Till, who's 32. Carl Froch would be, let's be honest, risking a return to the ring after nearly a decade of retirement. He would risk damaging his health, he would risk damaging his legacy, especially against a younger, active, and powerful fighter like Darren Till, because although Darren Till doesn't have refined boxing skills, he does have power, and the knockout of Luke Rockhold certainly attests to that. There is a disparity in skill, though. I mean, whilst Darren Till is a decent striker in terms of mixed martial arts, and he's shown that he can knock out people in a boxing ring as well. But let's be honest, in terms of skill, it's not even close. Carl Froch, Hall of Famer, lifetime experience as a boxer at the highest level. Skill wise, it would be a mismatch. I think the only thing that kind of levels it up a bit is the age and the fact that Carl Froch has been out the ring for 10, 11 years. But in terms of skill, you would have to say that Carl Froch is way more skilled. Carl Froch's own statements on the subject. I mean, he said repeatedly that he doesn't have a desire to return to the ring. He's been out the ring 11 years. He stated that the fire and the desire is no longer there. And he said that a comeback would only happen under extraordinary financial circumstances. So I guess if somebody put up some crazy amount of money, then he probably would entertain it. But other than that, I think he won't. And ultimately, my conclusion is that although ultimately the decision rests with Carl Froch, and it would be a massive event with a huge financial payout, I think the risks involved for Carl Froch are considerable, especially for an egomaniac like Carl Froch. I'm pretty sure that if he was to come back and for whatever reason got beaten, I don't know if someone like Carl Froch would ever live that down. And I think that one might be one of the reasons why he might not want to take this fight. I mean, I don't think it's because he's scared. In fact, I know it's not because of that. I think Carl Froch would back himself, but I think in the back of his mind, he would be thinking that if he lost to Darren Till or even had a hard night with him, that might damage his legacy. And I think Carl Froch is one of those guys that his legacy means a lot to him. So I guess what I'm saying is I think Carl Froch will stay retired. I mean, personally, I hope he does stay retired. I mean, you guys know my views on retired boxers coming back to the ring. Yeah, it's not a good look. Most of the time, it never ends well. I mean, I do think if these two got in a boxing ring, Carl Froch was given sufficient time in which to prepare, I think the disparity in skills would enable him to beat Darren Till. But it might be a harder night for him than what he's probably thinking. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't think Carl Froch will, accept the bait. But you never know with boxers, man. You never know if the money is, if an offer is made, if an unprecedented offer is made, you never know with boxers because a lot of the times they just can't keep themselves away. In fact, the way that Carl Froch is always talking about boxing. He's in that close proximity to boxing. Sometimes that gets the better of him. But yeah, but I don't think he will. I think the narcissist in Carl Froch will enjoy all the talk, will enjoy all the speculation. He will enjoy all the attention this will bring. It will also bring great numbers and great interest in Carl Froch's YouTube channel, which, let's be honest, is doing very well. And I think he'll just ride off the back of that and just ride it out until it becomes no longer a talking point. But yeah, that's my views. I'd love to know what you guys think. Please put it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching the video. Really do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. I'm out.